Hi everyone, I'm KKantas from Author Assist. You are watching Storytime, part of the Brain to Book Cyber Convention 2017. I'm reading a small excerpt now from AirWoman by Zara Quentin. Jade beat her wings once, twice, powerful strokes that harnessed the wind streaming over her like water, then stretched them wide to circle into a warm updraft. She let out a laugh as a gust of air pushed her upwards. Then she flicked her tail to send into a roll, making the blue sky and the red earth blur and tumble. Rightening herself, she spread her arms up and turned her face to the sun, enjoying the warmth of the morning sunlight on her skin. This was freedom. It only lasted a moment before she looked down and saw the Ingreston, her cliffside city home. At the sight of it, Jade started sinking, the weight of her heart dragging her down, tethered by her responsibilities in the Tarragon city. Jade sighed as she descended. From above, the cliff-top temple was in full view, with the gilded gold statue of their dragon god, Our Lady Tarragon, towering over it. The statue looked out towards Mount Revi, the volcano that loomed against the horizon of the western sea, as though keeping watch. Jade drank in the magnificent view. The statue of Our Lady stood tall on her hind legs, her front feet resting on the top tier of the ziggurat temple. The rising sun outlined her stretched wings and her head like a halo of rose gold light. As much as Jade longed to see the dragon verse, she never tired of this early morning view. She couldn't stay forever though, and continued her descending spiral towards the markets sprawled between the temple and the cliff's edge. A wisp of smoke curled from Our Lady's nostrils, drifting up towards the churning green clouds that marked the portal. The clouds contrasted starkly with the bright blue sky that stretched to the horizon in every direction. Jade gave the portal airspace a wide berth. Not only were the currents unpredictable, but it was against the law to interfere with the passage of travellers in and out of the portal. Still, Jade's chest swelled with the yearning of the sight of those clouds, and as always, she forced her gaze away, denying the temptation to pass through the portal and disappear. Instead, she lowered her eyes and swept her long, slender tail around to angle her effortless glide down towards the colourful tents of the marketplace that stood outside the western entrance of the temple. The temple was a conduit of cross-portal trade, but the marketplace was where the Tarragons sourced everyday goods. Jade's feet barely touched the red dirt as she folded her almost translucent wings at her back. The jade-green scales decorating the bone structure of her wings glittered in the sunlight. The salty sea breeze rustled a blue sheet of canvas stretched over 4 poles, sheltering a table of baked goods from the hot Tarragon sun. It was early, but the market bustled with activity. Jade ran a hand through her short wavy hair, wincing slightly as her fingers jagged in the knots. Usually she tied it back, but it was only a short flight from her family home to the cliffs where she planned to spend the night. Jade walked toward the enormous arched entrance of the temple, ducking under canvas shading, weaving past through hewn tables laden with eggs, cheese, colourful swashes of woven cloth, dried meat, pickles, and plenty of other goods. The air rang with merchants hawking their wares, live chickens squawking, and people haggling over prices. She smelt a strong whiff of fish as a hand clapped her on the shoulder. "Jade?" Jade turned to see a sun-brown fishmonger from the claw. His eyes twinkled as he greeted her, then flickered to either side of her, looking for someone else. "Papa's not here today," Jade said, taking a moment to remember his name. Davron. "Given you the keys to the kingdom, has he?" Davron winked, and smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. Jade remembered the porter who had unexpectedly arrived at their landing that morning with an urgent delivery for her father. Papa had opened the small package and turned it in his hands. To Jay's surprise, he'd even given her the terse instructions for the day. For the first time since she started her apprentice in the family business, he wouldn't be accompanying her to the temple. Instead, he disappeared without any explanation. So that was a short excerpt from AirWoman by Zara Quentin. You are watching Storytime, and I am KKantas from Author Assist.